imagine this. Someone insults you in public. Everyone is watching. Most people would react instantly. Anger, shouting, losing control. But you stay calm. You pause, you breathe, and you respond with complete control. At that moment, something powerful happens. You win a battle that most people lose every single day. The battle over your own mind. Because reacting is easy, but responding requires strength. Most people believe power means controlling others. But Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite. True power is controlling yourself. The moment someone can make you angry, upset, or emotional whenever they want, they control you. And most people live exactly like that. One negative comment ruins their entire day. One small problem destroys their mood. One insult triggers their anger. They are not living with control. They are living in constant reaction. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that every day he would meet people who are rude, selfish, arrogant, and dishonest, not because they want to harm him personally, but because they simply don't know better. So why waste your peace reacting to ignorance? Think about the ocean. When a storm appears, the surface becomes violent. But deep below the surface, the ocean remains calm. Your mind must become like that deep ocean. Stable, calm, unshaken. Training your mind to respond instead of react is a skill. And like every skill, it requires practice. The next time someone provokes you, pause, take one breath, then ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Is this within my control? What response reflects my strongest self? In most situations, you will realize something surprising. The situation itself is not the problem. Your reaction is. A Stoic does not suppress emotions. They simply refuse to let emotions control their actions. You may feel anger, but you do not let anger speak for you. You may feel frustration, but you do not let frustration guide your decisions. Because every calm response strengthens your mind, and every emotional reaction weakens it. Over time, something incredible begins to happen. People lose the ability to provoke you. Chaos stops disturbing you. And slowly, you become someone who cannot easily be shaken by the world. Because the strongest person in the room is not the loudest. The strongest person is the one who remains calm when everyone else is losing control. Train your mind. Pause before reacting. Respond with wisdom. That is the Stoic way. Most people live their entire lives reacting. Someone insults them. They react with anger. Someone disagrees with them. They react with frustration. Something goes wrong. They react with panic. But reaction is not power. Reaction is loss of control. The moment you react emotionally, you give someone else the power to control your state of mind. Stoic philosophy teaches something far more powerful. Pause, observe, then respond. Between what happens to you and how you respond, there is a small space. Inside that space lies your true power. Weak minds react instantly. Strong minds pause and choose their response. When someone insults you, reacting with anger only proves they succeeded in disturbing your peace. But when you remain calm, when you think before speaking, when you respond with clarity instead of emotion, you demonstrate something rare: mental discipline. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day that people will be rude, selfish, dishonest, and ignorant, not because they are evil, but because they do not know better. So why react to something that is simply part of human nature? When a storm appears in the ocean does not argue with the storm. It simply remains vast and deep. Your mind must become like that ocean. Calm, deep, unshaken. Training your mind to respond instead of react requires practice. When something upsets you, stop for a moment. Take a breath. Ask yourself 3 questions. Is this within my control? Does this truly matter in the long run? What response reflects my highest character? Most problems lose their power the moment you stop reacting emotionally, because anger clouds judgment. Fear weakens decision-making, but calm thinking creates clarity, and clarity creates strength. A Stoic does not suppress emotions. They master them. They understand that emotions are signals, not commands. You may feel anger, but you do not need to act on it. You may feel frustration, but you do not need to explode. You may feel fear, but you do not need to panic. Every moment of calm response strengthens your mind. Every moment you refuse to react emotionally builds discipline. Over time, something powerful happens. People lose the ability to provoke you. Chaos loses its influence over you. And slowly, you become the kind of person who cannot be easily shaken by the world. Because the greatest power is not controlling others. The greatest power is controlling yourself. Train your mind. Stay calm. Respond with wisdom. That is the Stoic way. Fire, what if I told you that most people lose control of their lives, not because of big problems, but because of small reactions? One insult, one negative comment, one small inconvenience, and suddenly their entire mood is destroyed. But Stoic philosophy teaches something powerful. The strongest person is not the one who reacts the fastest. The strongest person is the one who stays calm the longest. 1. Control the pause. The secret of emotional strength is simple. The pause. When something triggers you, your first instinct is to react immediately. Your emotions rise, your mind becomes clouded, and your words escape before your wisdom arrives. But Stoic thinkers practice something different. They paused. Just one breath can create space between the event and your response. And inside that space, you regain control of your mind. That pause is where discipline is born. 2. Your reaction gives away your power. Every time you react emotionally, you hand someone the keys to your mind. If a stranger can make you angry with a single sentence, then they control your emotions. If a small problem can destroy your mood, then your peace is fragile. Stoic thinkers believe that true strength is emotional independence. Your peace should never depend on someone else's behavior. 3. Emotions are signals, not commands. Feeling anger is natural. Feeling frustration is natural. Feeling disappointment is natural. But Stoicism teaches that emotions are signals, not orders. You can feel anger without acting on it. You can feel frustration without exploding. You can feel fear without panicking. A disciplined mind acknowledges emotions, but refuses to be controlled by them. For calmness is a rare power. In a world where everyone reacts instantly, calmness becomes a superpower. Most people shout. Most people argue. Most people defend their ego. But the person who stays calm in the middle of chaos becomes impossible to manipulate. Calmness confuses aggressive people because their power depends on your reaction. Without your reaction, their influence disappears. 5. The Stoic mind observes first. Before reacting to anything, a Stoic observes. They analyze the situation. They separate facts from emotions. They ask themselves one simple question: is this worth disturbing my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. 6. Not everything deserves your energy. One of the biggest mistakes people make is fighting every battle. They argue with strangers online. They respond to every criticism. They defend themselves in every situation. But Stoics understood something powerful. Not every problem deserves your attention. Sometimes the strongest response is silence. 7. Master your inner world. You cannot control the world. You cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control unexpected events. But you can control your inner world, your thoughts, your reactions, your decisions. And once you master your inner world, external chaos loses its power over you. 8. Time strengthens a calm mind. The first time you practice this, it will feel difficult. Your emotions will want to react instantly. But every time you choose calmness instead of reaction, your mind becomes stronger. Over time, people will notice something different about you. You cannot be easily provoked. You cannot be easily manipulated. You cannot be easily shaken. 9. Silence is sometimes the strongest response. Not every insult deserves an answer. Not every criticism deserves your defense. Sometimes silence communicates something far more powerful than words. It shows confidence. It shows control. And most importantly, it protects your peace. 10. The Stoic rule. At the end of the day, Remember this simple Stoic rule. Train your mind to respond, not react. Reacting is instinct. Responding is discipline. Reacting is emotional. Responding is intelligent. Reacting gives away power. Responding keeps the power within you. And when your mind becomes calm, disciplined, and aware, no insult, no criticism, and no chaos will ever control you again. That is the Stoic way. Fire, most people think strength means reacting quickly. Someone disrespects them, and they respond instantly with anger. Someone criticizes them, and they immediately defend themselves. But the Stoics understood something deeper. Speed is not strength. Control is strength. A person who reacts instantly is usually being controlled by emotion. Anger takes over. Ego takes over. Fear takes over. And in that moment, the mind loses its clarity. But the Stoic mind is trained differently. A Stoic understands that every situation gives you two choices. You can react emotionally, or you can respond intelligently. The difference between these two choices can shape your entire life. When you react, you often say things you regret. You make decisions driven by anger. You damage relationships that could have been saved. But when you respond with calmness, something powerful happens. Your mind becomes clear. You begin to see the situation as it truly is, not as your emotions describe it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day that people will sometimes be rude, selfish, arrogant, or ignorant, not because they want to destroy your life, but because they are controlled by their own weaknesses. So why should their weakness control your mind as well? Imagine walking through a crowded street. Someone accidentally bumps into you. A reactive mind becomes angry immediately, but a disciplined mind pauses and thinks, was this intentional? Most of the time, the answer is no, and suddenly, the anger disappears. The simple habit of pausing before reacting protects your peace in countless situations, because many conflicts in life are not caused by reality. They are caused by misinterpreted emotions. A Stoic trains their mind to separate facts from feelings. The fact may be simple. Someone said something. Something unexpected happened. A problem appeared. But your reaction determines whether that situation becomes a small inconvenience or a major conflict. This is why Stoic thinkers believe that emotional discipline is the highest form of power. Anyone can shout. Anyone can react. Anyone can lose control. But very few people can remain calm when emotions are rising. Very few people can think clearly when pressure appears. That ability is what separates an ordinary mind from a disciplined one. And the good news is this skill can be trained. Every time you feel anger rising, pause. Take one slow breath. Observe the situation. Ask yourself a simple question. What response will make me proud later? Not what feels good in the moment. Not what satisfies your ego. But what reflects your best character. Over time, this small habit transforms your entire mindset. Situations that once triggered anger no longer disturb you. Criticism no longer shakes your confidence. Provocation no longer controls your behavior. People may still try to test your patience, but they will discover something surprising. You are no longer reacting the way you used to. You remain calm. You remain aware. You remain in control. And that is when you realize something powerful. The goal was never to control the world. The goal was always to control your mind, because the moment you master your reactions, you become someone that chaos cannot easily disturb. And that is the true strength of the Stoic mind. Fire, training your mind to respond instead of react, is one of the most powerful skills you can develop in life. When someone insults you, the weak mind reacts immediately with anger. When life becomes difficult, the weak mind reacts with frustration and fear. But a disciplined mind understands something important. Your reaction is a choice. The Stoics believe that external events are not under our control, but our response always is. Think about this. Every time you react emotionally, you give your power away. You allow someone else's words or actions to control your peace. But when you train yourself to pause, breathe, and think before responding, you take that power back. You become calm when others are chaotic. You become focused when others panic. This is the difference between emotional people and mentally strong people. A Stoic person understands that emotions are temporary, but decisions can create permanent consequences. That is why they slow down their mind. They observe a situation like an outside observer. They ask themselves, is this worth my peace? Is this worth my energy? Most of the time, the answer is no, and that realization gives them freedom. The world is full of triggers, criticism, rejection, disappointment, delays, but a trained mind refuses to be controlled by them. Instead of reacting like everyone else, you respond with wisdom, patience, and control. And when you master this skill, something powerful happens. People lose the ability to manipulate your emotions. You stop being predictable. You stop being easily offended. Your calmness becomes your strength. Your silence becomes your power. Remember this. Reaction is instinct, but response is intelligence. Reaction is weakness, but response is discipline. And every day you have the chance to train this ability. 7. Do not let small things control your mind. One of the biggest weaknesses people have is reacting to small things. A negative comment online ruins their entire day. A small mistake at work makes them angry and frustrated. A disagreement with someone turns into a big emotional argument. But a Stoic mind sees these situations differently. It understands that most problems in life are temporary and small. Reacting emotionally to every little issue only drains your energy and destroys your focus. Instead, a disciplined person asks a simple question. Will this matter in 5 days? Will this matter in 5 months? If the answer is no, then it is not worth losing your peace over it. When you stop reacting to small problems, your mind becomes stronger and calmer than the people around you. 8. Emotional control is real power. Many people think power means being louder, stronger, or more aggressive than others. But Stoic philosophy teaches that real power is self-control. Anyone can shout when they are angry. Anyone can react when they feel insulted. But it takes true strength to stay calm when emotions are rising. When you control your reactions, you control the situation. People cannot manipulate you easily. They cannot provoke you into making mistakes. Your calmness becomes a shield that protects your peace. And over time, others begin to respect you not because you are aggressive, but because you're disciplined. 9. Do not become a slave to your ego. Most reactions in life are caused by ego. Someone disagrees with you, and your ego demands that you prove them wrong. Someone criticizes you, and your ego pushes you to defend yourself immediately. But a Stoic mind understands that ego often creates unnecessary conflict. Not every opinion deserves your response. Not every criticism requires a defense. Sometimes the smartest decision is simply to move forward and focus on what truly matters. When you let go of your ego, you free yourself from many pointless battles. 10. Calmness creates clarity. When emotions take control of your mind, your ability to think clearly disappears. Anger clouds your judgment. Fear creates confusion. Frustration leads to poor decisions. But when you remain calm, your mind becomes sharp and focused. You can analyze a situation logically. You can see solutions that others cannot see. This is why Stoic thinkers train themselves to remain calm even during difficult situations. They understood that calmness is not just emotional control. It is also a tool for better decision-making. 11. Your mind is like a muscle. Just like a physical muscle becomes stronger with exercise, your mind becomes stronger with practice. Every time you resist the urge to react emotionally, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you pause instead of exploding with anger, you train your mind to stay calm under pressure. At first, this will feel difficult. Your emotions will push you to react immediately. But with time and practice, your reactions will change. Situations that once made you angry will no longer disturb your peace. 12. Become unshakable. Imagine becoming the type of person who cannot be easily disturbed. Someone insults you and you remain calm. Someone criticizes you and you respond with logic instead of anger. Life becomes difficult, but you stay focused on solutions instead of complaining about problems. This is what Stoic thinkers call inner strength. It is the ability to remain steady while the world around you becomes chaotic. And when you develop this mindset, people will notice something different about you. You cannot be easily shaken. 13. The final truth. At the end of the day, remember this powerful truth. Your reactions shape your life. Two people can experience the same situation, but their responses will create completely different outcomes. One person reacts with anger and regret. The other responds with patience and wisdom. The situation may be the same, but the mindset is different. And that difference determines who grows stronger and who remains controlled by their emotions. So train your mind every day. Pause before reacting. Think before speaking. Choose calmness over chaos. Because the moment you master your reactions, you master your life. Fire 14. Do not react to provocation. One of the most powerful habits you can build is the ability to stay calm when someone tries to provoke you. Many people intentionally say things just to get a reaction. They want to see you angry, frustrated, or emotional. Why? Because your reaction gives them power. But when you remain calm, you take that power away from them. A Stoic understands that reacting to provocation is like giving your enemy control of your mind. Instead, they observe the situation quietly and respond only if it is truly necessary. This calm behavior not only protects your peace, but also shows others that your mind cannot be easily manipulated. 15. Learn to observe before you speak. Words spoken in anger often become regrets later. Many conflicts in life happen because people speak without thinking. They react emotionally and say things they cannot take back. But a disciplined mind learns to observe before speaking. It listens carefully. It studies the situation. It understands emotions involved. And only then does it respond. This habit transforms your communication. Your words become calmer, wiser, and more meaningful. People begin to trust your judgment because they know you do not speak impulsively. 16. Patience is a form of strength. In a world where everyone wants instant reactions, patience becomes rare. Social media, arguments, and everyday stress push people to react quickly. But Stoic thinkers believe that patience is a form of power. A patient person does not allow temporary emotions to control permanent decisions. They wait, they think, they respond at the right moment. This patience prevents many mistakes and allows you to act with clarity rather than confusion. 17. Do not let anger control your decisions. Anger is one of the strongest emotions humans experience. When it appears, it demands immediate action. It pushes you to argue, to shout, or to prove yourself right. But decisions made in anger are rarely wise. Stoic philosophy teaches that anger should be observed but not obeyed. When you feel anger rising, step back. Give your mind time to calm down. Once your emotions settle, you will see the situation more clearly, and that clarity will guide you toward a better response. 18. Protect your mental energy. Your mental energy is limited. Every reaction consumes a small portion of it. If you react to every criticism, every insult, and every small problem, you will exhaust your mind quickly. A Stoic protects their mental energy carefully. They focus only on what truly matters. They ignore distractions that do not improve their life. This discipline allows them to stay focused on their goals instead of wasting energy on unnecessary conflict. 19. Calm people win more battles. History shows that the calmest thinkers often make the best decisions. When everyone around them is panicking or reacting emotionally, they remain steady and focused. This calm mindset allows them to see opportunities that others miss. It allows them to solve problems while others are still arguing about them. In many situations, victory does not belong to the strongest or loudest person. It belongs to the person who can remain calm under pressure. 21. Do not let other people's behavior control you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is allowing someone else's behavior to decide their mood. If someone is rude, they become angry. If someone ignores them, they feel disrespected. If someone criticizes them, they become defensive. But a Stoic understands something powerful. Other people's behavior is outside your control, but your response is always within your control. When you stop giving others the power to control your emotions, you become mentally free. Their anger no longer disturbs you. Their negativity no longer affects your peace. You begin to live with calm confidence because your inner state is no longer dependent on the actions of others. 22. Every situation is a test of your mind. Life constantly tests your mindset. Some tests come in the form of criticism. Others appear as failure, rejection, or unexpected problems. Most people react emotionally during these moments. They complain, blame others, or lose their motivation. But a disciplined mind treats every challenge differently. It sees every difficult situation as a training ground for emotional strength. Instead of reacting with frustration, a Stoic asks, "What can I learn from this?" That question transforms problems into lessons and setbacks into growth. 23. The strongest mind stays calm under pressure. When pressure appears, most people panic. Their emotions rise, their thinking becomes unclear, and they make poor decisions. But calm thinkers operate differently. They slow down their thoughts. They observe the situation carefully. They analyze the possible outcomes before acting. This ability to remain calm under pressure is one of the greatest advantages a person can develop. In difficult situations, the calm person often finds solutions while everyone else is still reacting emotionally. 24. Your words should be chosen, not released. Words have power. Once they are spoken, they cannot be taken back. Many people damage relationships because they react emotionally and say things they later regret. A Stoic mind understands the importance of controlled speech. Instead of speaking immediately, they think about the impact of their words. They ask themselves whether their response will solve the problem or make it worse. This discipline creates respectful communication and prevents unnecessary conflict. 25. Learn to detach from temporary emotions. Emotions are temporary waves passing through your mind. Anger rises and falls. Frustration appears and disappears. But many people treat these emotions as permanent truths. They react as if the feeling they experience in the moment defines the entire situation. A Stoic learns to detach from these emotional waves. They observe them calmly and allow them to pass. By doing this, they avoid making decisions based on temporary feelings. 26. Focus only on what you can control. Stoic philosophy teaches a simple but powerful principle. Focus only on what is within your control. You cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control unexpected events. You cannot control the past. But you can control your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. When you focus only on these things, your mind becomes lighter and more peaceful. You stop wasting energy worrying about things that cannot be changed. 27. The discipline of calm thinking. Calm thinking is a skill that must be trained repeatedly. Every time a difficult situation appears, you have two choices. You can react emotionally like everyone else, or you can slow down your thoughts and respond with discipline. Over time, this habit becomes part of your personality. Your mind automatically searches for solutions instead of reacting with frustration. Your focus remains steady even when others are losing control. 28. Become emotionally unbreakable. Imagine becoming the type of person who cannot be easily disturbed. Someone insults you and you stay calm. Someone criticizes you and you respond with logic instead of anger. A problem appears and instead of panicking, you begin looking for solutions. This is what emotional strength looks like. It does not mean you never feel emotions. It means your emotions no longer control your actions. 29. Strength is quiet. Many people believe strength must be loud and aggressive, but true strength is often quiet. It appears as patience when others are angry. It appears as calmness when others are panicking. It appears as discipline when others are reacting emotionally. A Stoic mind understands that quiet control is far more powerful than loud reactions. 30. The Stoic mindset. At the end of the day, remember this truth. Most people are controlled by their reactions. Very few people control their reactions. The people who learn this skill gain a powerful advantage in life. They make better decisions. They protect their peace. They handle challenges with clarity and wisdom. So train your mind every day. Pause before reacting. Think before speaking. Choose calmness over emotion, because when you master your reactions, you master your life. Fire in the end, life will test you in countless ways. People will challenge your patience. Situations will test your emotions, and unexpected problems will try to shake your peace. But remember this powerful truth. You always have control over one thing: your response. When you train your mind to pause, observe, and respond with calmness instead of reacting with emotion, you become stronger than the chaos around you. The Stoics believe that true strength is not found in controlling the world, but in mastering your own mind. So every day practice discipline, protect your peace, and choose wisdom over impulse. Because the moment you learn to respond instead of react, you become the calm mind in a chaotic world. And that is the true power of a Stoic. Fire